Welcome to the Action Hero podcast.
Yeah.
You know we love a good action story, right?
Always up for some epic tales.
And what's really incredible is that sometimes the most powerful stories of resistance come from the most unexpected places.
Right. It's like those David and Goliath moments. You see this small force, this seemingly insignificant thing, taking on something massive and powerful, and you just can't help but root for them.
Absolutely. And that's what we're going to dive into today. We've got these two stories that just blew us away. One about art becoming a weapon against a really oppressive regime, and another about a slave revolt sparked by, well, an early version of a gun.
A weapon from the future, basically.
Exactly, like a glimpse of technology way ahead of its time, falling into the hands of those who need it most.
And what's fascinating is that in both of these stories, it's not just about the weapon itself, it's about how it becomes a catalyst, a spark that ignites something much bigger.
A symbol, almost.
Yeah, a symbol of hope, a symbol of defiance, a symbol that even in the darkest of times, there's always the potential for resistance.
So let's start with the first one. This one's called Splatter Zone.
Okay, I love the title.
Right. It's so evocative. So imagine this city where everything is gray. The buildings, the clothes, the sky, everything. It's like this visual desert designed to crush any sense of individuality.
Wow, that's bleak. Makes you wonder how people survive in a place like that.
Right. And that's where Lila comes in. She absolutely despises this grayness. It just suffocates her.
And it's not just an aesthetic thing, right? It's about control. The regime wants to control every aspect of people's lives, even down to what they see.
Exactly. And then one day, Lila and her friends Ash and Finn stumble upon this hidden basement. And what do they find?
Paintball guns.
Paintball guns. Stacks of them, covered in dust. But the paintballs themselves,
Oh, I bet they were vibrant.
neon pink. Imagine that contrast, this drab, oppressive, gray world suddenly punctuated by this shocking burst of color.
It's like a visual rebellion in a tiny sphere.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, they're just messing around, having fun with these forbidden splashes of color. But then something shifts. They realize the power of what they have.
The power to disrupt.
Exactly. So what do? They aim for the ultimate symbol of the regime's power, the Ministry of Order.
Bold move.
Oh, incredibly bold. They tag it with this giant, yellow smiley face just beaming down on everyone.
I bet the enforcers were completely confused.
Or totally, like, what do you do with that? You can't arrest a smiley face.
It's brilliant, really. A totally unexpected form of resistance. And it's not aggressive, it's joyful. It's like they're injecting happiness into this really grim world.
And it catches on. Other people start joining in. Finn starts creating these amazing graffiti vines, all these swirls and flourishes, bringing life and color back to those stark gray walls.
I love that. Reclaiming the city with beauty.
Right. And Ash is out there leaving these amazing splatter trails, like bursts of energy, marking their presence everywhere.
And then there's Maria, right? She brings in the glow-in-the-dark paint. So now, even at night, the city can't be completely controlled by the regime.
It's like they're creating this whole secret world of color and light. And then you've got Ben with his glitter bombs.
Glitter bombs.
Glitter bombs. Talk about making a mess that's impossible to clean up. It's chaos, but it's also kind of hilarious.
It's like they're using humor as a weapon.
Yeah.
And it totally undermines the regime's authority because they look so ridiculous trying to deal with it.
Right. They're trying to maintain order, but they're being outsmarted by glitter. It's fantastic.
And of course, the regime isn't just going to sit back and watch this happen, right?
No way. They crack down hard. Curfews get stricter. Checkpoints everywhere. The sense of surveillance is constant.
But even with all that, the resistance keeps growing. And you shared this really tense scene where Lila's almost caught. It really highlights the risks they're taking.
Yeah, it shows just how dangerous this movement is becoming. But then, just when things look really bad, she gets help from this unexpected source, an older woman. And this woman leads her to this network of hidden tunnels.
Oh, wow. So they're not just a bunch of kids messing around. They're part of a much larger organized resistance.
Exactly. And down in those tunnels, there's a printing press, stacks of leaflets, walls covered in spray-painted slogans. It's clear that this movement has been going on for a while.
And that older woman, she sees the power of Lila's art.
Yeah, she recognizes that it's more than just pretty pictures. It's a way to connect with people, to inspire them, to make them think.
So they come up with this really audacious plan for the Festival of Order.
The regime's biggest event of the year.
And their target.
The statue of the leader.
Wow, that's going to make a statement.
Oh, yeah. And it's incredible. They transform this grim, imposing statue into something completely different. He's got a clownish grin, a rainbow mohawk, and across the base of the statue, they paint one word. Imagine.
That's so powerful. It's like they're saying, look, there's another way, a better way.
And the regime can't erase it. They can't explain it away. It's there for everyone to see.
It's like they've cracked open the gray, let in some light and color.
Exactly. Okay, let's switch gears now. Let's go back in time to ancient Rome.
All right, time travel.
You shared this story about Spartacus, the gladiator.
Oh, yeah, Spartacus. Everyone knows his name.
But most people don't know about the firebrand.
What's the firebrand?
This is where it gets really interesting. It's a Roman prototype firearm, like a very early version of a gun.
And it ends up in the hands of Spartacus.
Yeah. Imagine the scene. The brutal world of the arena, the utter hopelessness of slavery. And then, during a scuffle in the slave pens, he finds this strange metal object.
Must have looked like something from another world.
Totally. And the Roman guards, they completely freak out when they see it. It's clear that this is something dangerous, something they don't want falling into the wrong hands.
Which, of course, it does.
Right into the hands of Spartacus. And for him, it's not just a weapon. It's a symbol of hope. A chance, maybe, to break free from this brutal existence.
So what does he do?
He starts experimenting, trying to figure out how this thing works. He's using scraps of cloth, powdered charcoal, basically anything he can get his hands on. And it's dangerous. There's this moment where it almost explodes, which must have been terrifying.
But also kind of exhilarating, right? To know that you have this power in your hands.
Absolutely. And that first successful firing, you can just imagine the sound, that loud crack, echoing through the slave pens. It's like a declaration of defiance.
The other slaves, what did they think?
A mix of fear and awe. They knew something had changed, that things would never be the same.
And Spartacus, he realizes the potential of this weapon.
Not just the destructive power, but the psychological impact. The Romans, they're used to fighting with swords and shields. They're not prepared for this.
So he decides to make his move.
During the officers' banquet, the Romans are completely caught off guard. They never imagined that their slaves could pose this kind of threat.
And the gladiators, they're trained for hand-to-hand combat, right?
Exactly. So these firebrands, even in their crude form, they completely change the game. It's chaos.
And Spartacus, he seizes the moment.
Leads the slaves out of the arena into the hills.
Armed with these stolen weapons.
And he becomes a legend, the wielder of thunder. The Romans are terrified of him. They put bounties on his head, send assassins after him, but he's always one step ahead.
And every time they raid a Roman outpost, they capture more firebrands, their power grows.
Exactly. And Spartacus, he's not just a fighter. He's a brilliant strategist.
Yeah.
He uses the fear the weapon inspires as much as its direct force.
Like targeting supply lines, disrupting cavalry charges.
Exactly. He's turning the Romans' own weapons against them, using their fear to his advantage.
But eventually the Romans catch up.
Yeah. The final battle is this desperate but incredibly defiant last stand. Spartacus and his forces, they're outnumbered, surrounded.
But they don't give up.
No. They fight to the very end. Those firebrands are roaring, spitting fire in defiance.
It must have been an incredible sight. Tragic, but inspiring.
And though Spartacus falls in that battle, his legacy lives on. The Romans try to erase him from history, but they can't.
He became a symbol of rebellion, a reminder that even the most powerful empires can be challenged.
And that firebrand, initially a symbol of Roman power, becomes forever linked to the fight for freedom.
It's amazing how these two stories, so different in setting and time period, share that same core idea.
Right. That unexpected weapons can become these incredibly powerful symbols of resistance.
And it's not just about the weapons themselves. It's about the courage, the ingenuity, the sheer determination of those who wield them.
Absolutely. It makes you think about our own world. What are the unexpected weapons that could ignite change today?
What overlooked tools or ideas could spark the next great action story?
It's something to think about. What are the firebrands and paint guns of our time? Where is that potential for change hiding in plain sight?
That's a question for all of us to consider.
Thank you for joining us today on the Action Hero podcast for these incredible stories. If you love these tales, don't forget to rate and follow for more epic adventures.
And keep those sparks of imagination burning.
Until next time.
See you then.